Hi everyone, and welcome back to Adventures. So today I'm interviewing a friend that just returned from his very first cruise, first time ever. He was on Holland, America's beautiful New Amsterdam, and where else did he go? Alaska. So stay tuned and you'll hear from him right after this. Hi everyone, Cheryl here. I have two passions in my life. One is education and the second is travel, mainly cruising. So during the school year, I work in the private sector as a school psychologist, but during the summer vacations and school holidays, I work on board for Princess Cruises. So when I'm traveling, I love talking about it, but when I'm not, I love talking about places I've been to and places I'd like to go to in the future. So thank you so much for coming along with me on my adventures. Hi everyone, welcome back to Adventures. So today I have a very special guest. This is the father of a dear friend of mine. This is Art, and he actually took a cruise for the first time in his life over the summer. So I'd like to find out why he chose to go on a cruise, finally, what took you so long, and why you chose Alaska.
Well, what took me so long is, unfortunately, I lost my wife 2.5 years ago, and she never wanted to take a cruise because when we travel, and we were fortunate in our lifetime together to be able to travel wherever, whatever we wanted to, and we enjoyed the nightlife. And most of the nightlife is spent on a cruise, cruising. You get to see the cities during the day, but never at night. So that's the reason we always chose to fly. And all my friends, since she passed away, have encouraged me to go out, do something, and regain my whatever. And then they
Your
all
sense of
suggest
adventure.
sense of adventure.
There you go.
Okay, and they all, including my son and daughter, expressed Alaska cruise. They said it would be great.
That's wonderful. So you went on the beautiful New Amsterdam, the Holland, America, and you went to 3 different ports. But before we talk about the ports, tell us your experience. How did you feel just walking onto that ship for the very first time?
Well, first of all, it was an amazingly large floating edifice. I mean, it was extraordinary. I didn't know what to expect, frankly. It was gorgeous, yes.
So did you take any tours?
Yes.
Ship organized tours?
Actually, they were organized through my credit card company,
Okay.
through Marriott.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the places, and some I never knew existed, that I wanted to see. For example, in Juneau, our first stop, was that where we saw the Mendenhall Glacier? We saw the glacier. But in addition to the glacier, there is a place there called the Nugget Falls, which is about, 300 to 400 yards before you get to the glacier, if you're on the trail. And that is equally as famous as the falls, which I never knew. I thought I had taken a helicopter cruise, but apparently I was on a waiting list and nobody left. So it was great. It was absolutely terrific. And in the Glacier Bay, to see the chunks of ice literally chunks
Yes,
of ice
chunks
in the
of
bay,
ice.
a pristine bay, pristine. Everything was fabulous. The ship itself, I could not.
Okay, the food. We want to hear about the food. We heard that you really enjoyed the food, so tell us about the food.
Well, the food was wonderful. I bought, you can buy any kind of package you want. And I bought the package that allowed me to have food in some of the restaurants other than the regular dining room, which I did eat at, which was wonderful, or the buffet. And I always had breakfast in the buffet,
Nice.
which was extraordinary. The food was excellent, either in the private dining rooms that I went to, other than the dining room in the ship itself, which was wonderful. But even over and above that, the people who worked in these rooms, it was amazing. From the waiters to the wait people and the service people in the dining room, to the greeters as you walk into the dining room. Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. How wonderful, and how they know your name. They called me Mr. Art, and I told them to get rid of the Mr.
The Mr.
No. And they were, I must have left $1,000 in tips. I loved them so much. And particularly, Mide and Siti, who were my personal, in the cabin I was in, my personal, whatever they were for me, people who took care of me, my room, etc., all my needs, particularly my needs when it came to working my telephone and working my computer. I'm totally ignorant. I was born in 1940, and I'm glad. They were just right there anytime I needed them. The help was great, and they had a concierge desk that was open 24/7, manned by a minimum of 3 people every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, for any problem, any question, anything else. And I'll tell you one other thing that amazed me was the entertainment.
Oh, you know what? Let's stop right there. When we come back, I want to hear all about the entertainment, okay?
That's fine.
Hey, it's time for a commercial. Don't forget to check out my online travel shopping stores on eBay and Etsy. The links are in the description box below the title of this video. So welcome back. So Art, you mentioned something about the entertainment and the nightlife. Tell us, what did you think about the nightlife?
It was everything I thought it would be, the opposite of. First, they had a couple of comedians, and I really didn't want to see a comedian on a ship thinking, they're really not that funny, they're not that good, I won't enjoy it, but it was still pretty early, so I went. I was rolling in the aisles. These guys are funny. They're good, they're professional. Second, I happen to be a lover of blues. Mm-hmm. And they had on the ship a B.B. King blues room where I guess a couple of his guys, old guys, and some new people came out and did 45 minutes of a couple of shows a night that were fabulous, live, and was great. And thirdly, I'm also a big fan of classical music, and they had 4 classical musicians that were there doing Mozart, Beethoven, Liszt, whatever, Brahms, the Blue Daniel, Strauss waltz. I mean, it was great, absolutely great, and I enjoyed every minute. In particular, I can't give enough credit to the entire staff. They were great. In any language you speak, they speak. And that's where I learned that the only people who know one language are Americans.
That's true.
But they were absolutely fabulous. And I had the best time. And it was the first time I was alone anywhere, and it was the first time I was a little apprehensive. And the people, the passengers on the ship, there were no children, okay? Nobody on trikes or carriages, or, looking for bottles or whatever. They were mostly, adults. And after a couple of days, many people saw that I was alone, eating alone, and they came over to me, introduced themselves, and asked if I would like to join their table for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or on the outside of the ship on deck 9, which is fabulous up there. That's where the buffet is, which is fabulous. Same food as the dining room, actually, but little more casual, lot more casual, and they had a Nathan's hot dog, and I grew up with Nathan's hot dog. You may not know that by my accent, and or you can get New York pizza, and I grew up with New York pizza too, and it was fabulous, just fabulous, and all of that was included, of course, and so I ate with many people, and got to know many people. As a matter of fact, I don't think Stephanie might have told you this.
Oh.
I
Do tell.
I met a couple of really nice people, from Texas, who happened to live, I don't, it had nothing to do with politics, they just happened to live right next door to George W. Bush, and they have a house in Dallas, okay, and we got to be friendly, and more importantly than them inviting me out to meet the president in November, their daughter is very close friends with Jerry Jones's family, who is the owner of Dallas Cowboys. And that to me,
Woo!
to go see a Cowboy game.
That's exciting.
So I'm going to go out there sometime in November. Matter of fact, I
Yes.
spoke to them just the other night, and they said that they thought I forgot about them. And I said, no.
Well, you never know who you're going to meet on a cruise. That's
oh,
what's
it was
wonderful.
amazing. Yeah, just
Good for
amazing.
you.
Just started talking. One thing led to another, and we became good friends, table mates, and he drinks and I drink. So it was pretty. It was pretty
Drinking
good.
is good.
It was pretty good. It was
Oh,
pretty
that's
good.
wonderful.
So they were really super. Everybody was super. You know, even though those that I didn't get that close with were great. And I have nothing but positives. The people you meet when you get off the ship, the actual Alaskans, realize that they earn their living by having tourists, and therefore are extraordinary. I have pictures with Juneau police guys, policemen that took time of day to have a picture with me. I mean, it's just fabulous. Any excursion you go on in the city, like I went on a, what are those things called, that you attach and you go up and you go down, or like at Disneyland they have these things. But anyway, it costs nothing. When it makes a stop, you want to get off, there's a souvenir shop, there's some shops, of course. The only sad part that I found is I wanted to send some fish home. And in Juneau, there was a fishery that was closed, and I took a picture of a sign that said it's closed because of COVID. And that was terrible, and they had nobody to work. And in Sitka, it was closed as well. In Ketchikan, one was open, so I was able to send some fish home, some salmon, some cod, some good fish home. But that was sad to see that both the other fisheries were closed because they couldn't get enough help to work in the fishery because of COVID. And I guess, you know, it's kind of small. Each city only has several thousand people in it. It's not as large as, what's the big city? I forget what the big
Fairbanks.
Fairbanks or whatever the other one is.
Anchorage.
Anchorage, yes. And there's only several thousand people in each city. And you wouldn't think that the COVID would be that excessive. But because thousands of people every day get off a boat, and they have to be nice, they want to be nice, and they also want to be welcoming, you just don't know who you're talking to. And you have and masks are required in Alaska anyway. It's just too bad because the people are wonderful. The people, the Alaskans themselves, including in Saxman, Alaska, which is a suburb of Sitka, I believe. Sitka, that's where they make the totem poles, and they have actual Alaskans, native Alaskans. You might see on television that whatever, living in Alaska or whatever it's called, these are the people who initiated Alaska. Who lived in Alaska. Alaska was actually founded by the Russians. That's a whole nother history.
Yes.
But
Another video.
Another video, okay. But they were unbelievably friendly, warm, welcoming, And they have buses, if you want to take tours, that says tribal bus, and I got pictures of that. That was pretty neat
that sounds
too.
neat. That sounds
But
nice.
they live in an area where there is just one in the world, I guess. He's the #1 craftsman of totem poles. And we were able to watch him work.
Okay, Art, I'd love to hear about your cabin. Tell us about your cabin.
Cabin was wonderful. I don't recall the dimensions, but it was a good size. It was either a double or a queen size bed for me. And it had a great bathroom with bathtub and shower.
Nice.
And the shower was terrific. The pressure was great. And it had a desk where I kept my computer and whatever. And also a closet that held all my clothes, my bags. It was more than sufficient. But the best part of my cabin, I know not everybody, has one, but I got a cabin with a balcony. And just sitting out there every night before I actually went into bed was fabulous. It was dark. It was quiet, believe it or not. Even on that ship, it was quiet, and it was serene, and it was beautiful. The only thing I had was the stars in heaven above, and wherever my mind happened to wander. And I just enjoyed it very much. And then before I went for breakfast every morning, I would sit out on the balcony for about 45 minutes. Then I would go to deck 3, actually, and deck 3 has a walking deck, and 3 times around the entire ship is a mile. And I used to go counterclockwise. Everybody else was walking clockwise.
So you're...
And that way, by going counterclockwise, I used to see the same people 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, whatever it was.
Because you ran into them.
That's right. And when it was always, hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? Then we stopped. My name is Art. My name is, Ty, whatever it was, or Debbie. And I get to know people. And when they were sitting on the deck chairs in the afternoon, I would do that twice a day. Sitting on the deck chairs, again, I would always go counterclockwise, and everybody who was sitting on the deck chairs, it was more crowded later in the day than early in the morning, and we got to know each other too, and it was fun because I did that every day, and most of the same people every day were sitting out on the deck.
So you got plenty of exercise.
Exercise.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of that, they have a gym that's second to none. They have a pool and jacuzzi is second to none. They have a beauty salon, they have a barber shop. If you need a mini pedi or whatever it's called, you can get that done while your hair is being done. It is just, and a steam room, and whatever you want. It is just, and it's all first class. It's not schlock. It's good stuff, Maynard. It is really, really terrific. And anything you can name, anything. And then down below on deck 2, they had the shops, anybody who wants to buy a lot of gold, a lot of jewelry, or to clothes, to a tube of toothpaste. Whatever you want, you can get down there.
Well, I want to say thank you so much, and I'd like to have you back to tell us some more because a lot of our viewers may have questions for you. So they'll write the questions below in the comments. But you know what? A little bird told me that on Thursday, a little bird. Is there a little bird in my kitchen?
There might be a little bird.
Okay, here's a little bird.
my God.
That on Thursday is your birthday, so we wanted to celebrate with all of the people
my God.
watching.
Thank
Let's put
you.
this up here so we can see it in there. There we go.
My God.
Happy birthday.
Art.
So Art, make a wish. Don't tell us.
got it.
Okay. Do you want to blow it out with you? Okay. There you go. So happy birthday. This can
Thank
go
you.
home with you.
Thank you.
This cannot be compared to the dessert on board, but hopefully it will
It's-
help with your little sweet tooth. Okay, so we hope you have a wonderful birthday.
Thank you very,
Thank you so
very
much
much.
for being a part of Adventures with Cheryl.
Been my great pleasure.
Thank
and
you.
Go. This is Icy
Ketchikan.
Straits. Icy Straits is in Hanoi.
Ketchikan.
No, Hunan.
Oh.
Hunan.
There you
Hunan.
go. Okay, he now works for the company. Tech first.
Fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure our heads look level. See what I mean? It makes a difference in my head.
Well, I'm a little taller than you are.
Okay.
You get a phone book and sit on the phone.
Oh, I know I should.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're okay. So hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have a very special guest. This is the father of one of my dear friends. Is your name Joe?
Art.
Art, okay, this is a sound check. Knew it was okay.
Okay.
And last month he actually went on a cruise for the very first time in his life.
Correct.
So I'm going to pick his brain. I want to hear all about it, what he thought about the ship and what he thought about cruising and why he chose Alaska. Okay, let's see if that's...